Welcome. So if you're thinking about filing for divorce in Illinois without an attorney, this video is for you. And so maybe you and your spouse have already agreed on everything. Children, if you have children, property, debts, business interests, you are in agreement. Maybe you just can't afford traditional attorney fees, or maybe you simply want to understand what your options actually are before you make any decisions. Whatever brought you here today, welcome. I'm glad you found this resource. My name is Attorney Joerika Stitt. I'm a licensed Illinois attorney, certified mediator, collaborative law attorney, and the owner of Joerika Stitt, Esquire, LLC. I'm also the creator of My Illinois Court Navigator, a statewide legal resource hub I built because I kept getting calls from people who needed real legal help but couldn't access it for whatever reason, price or whatever the reason may have been. And so today I'm walking you through My Family Court Navigator, one of the 3 live navigators available right now on my website. And I'm going to show you exactly what it is. I'm going to show you exactly what it is, how it works, what you get, and how to figure out which tier is right for your situation, right? No confusion, no mystery. So let's get into it. So this is my website. Again, my law office is Joerika Stitt, Esquire, LLC. These navigators are new. I launched the first one, I think, 3 weeks ago. And so we have 3 live navigators: My Family Court Navigator for uncontested divorce, My Prenuptial Agreement Navigator, and My Small Business Navigator. And so this is the My Family Court Navigator. And what you're looking at is an attorney-guided, uncontested divorce service built specifically for Illinois residents who want court-ready divorce documents reviewed and approved by a licensed Illinois attorney without having to hire a full-service attorney for the entire case. We also have Navigator University, something I'm very proud of. I created because when it comes to uncontested divorce in Illinois, it's more than just documents. You have to understand procedure in certain parts of substantive law, or risk having filings rejected, having to reschedule court dates, and depending on the county you're in. So if you're in Cook or Will or a bigger county, you might not be able to get a continuous date 3 months, sometimes 4 months out. It just really depends. And so and I'm on the wrong, I meant My Family Court Navigator. That's what we're on. And so basically, this is more than document generation. It's an education experience, but it's not overwhelming. You're not going to law school. Navigator University is only giving you precisely what you need to navigate your uncontested divorce in Illinois, avoiding those common delays that slow down the process so that you can, at an affordable rate and a quicker speed, get to the point where you can move on with your life. And so, again, all documents reviewed and approved by a licensed attorney, me, and Navigator University. All the videos and illustrative guides were personally created by me. And so I do want to be clear about something right away. My Family Court Navigator is not a DIY form website. This is not a document template service. Every single submission that comes to my firm through this navigator is personally reviewed by me before those documents are released to you. And so you're getting real attorney oversight at a price point that actually works for you when you most need it. And so you're going to see when you visit the website this button. So let's click this website. This is how you get started. And we actually have these buttons throughout the entire page because I understand that some people at different stages might be ready to move forward. So we just click this button right here. That's not the only button that you can click there throughout the entire page to help you to get started. But I do want to go through the form. We are not going to by far complete the entire form, but I want to explain some things to you. And so Depending on the type of divorce that you have, the form can take 20 to 40 minutes, sometimes more. It just really depends on the complexity of your case. The good news is you don't have to finish the form in one sitting. So say you have a tier 3 divorce because you have complex assets, including multiple properties, business interests, retirement accounts, and children. If you have all of those, that's as complex as it gets, right? Expect to spend some time on the form, but we have a nice handy dandy progress bar that tells you how far along you are. And we also have a save button right here where you can save the form and return to it later. And so don't feel like I have a really complex divorce and it's going to take me longer, but I can't start it now because I only have 20 minutes. No, give it your 20 minutes, click save, and come back later. And so we have to go through an eligibility screening process. In Illinois, you or your spouse have to have been a resident of Illinois for at least 90 days before filing for divorce. So if you say no to this question, it's going to kick you out and tell you don't qualify for the My Family Court Navigator because of this residency requirement. Come back later, or visit our website or call us or whatever to learn what your options are. But say you meet that requirement, hit next, and you're going to go on to the second eligibility question. Is there currently an active order of protection, a domestic violence case, or pending criminal matter involving either you or your spouse? Now, if we have orders of protection or criminal matters, you don't qualify for this My Family Court Navigator. You need litigation. And so if you say yes, again, they're going to kick you out of the system and give you some options to move forward. But if you say no, you can proceed. This is the final eligibility question. Have you and your spouse reached agreement on all issues, including property, debt, support, children, if any? If you say no, you're going to get kicked out again, because this My Family Court Navigator is for uncontested divorce where the parties are in full agreement on everything. If you say yes, you can move forward. These are the routing questions that are going to determine your price point. And so, do you have minor children or adult children with a disability? Let's say no. Now, I want to be clear about something because I'm getting a lot of calls to the firm. Let me get the pen. This one right here is tripping people up. And so I want to kind of clarify things in the video. We have 3 tiers for uncontested divorce in the Navigator. Each of those tiers, well, let's focus on tier 1 and 2 because tier 3 is for complex. You have multiple properties. Tier 1 and tier 2, you can deal with in your documents one real property, which tends to be the marital home. And so if you only have one property that you have to deal with in a divorce that's your marital home, you're going to answer no, because do you own any real estate beyond your marital home? No, right? If you do have more than one property that needs to be divided in your divorce, you have to say yes. But we're going to go with no here. Does you or your spouse have any of the following? Business interests, retirement accounts? We are going to say no for here. This is going to prompt, it's going to say uncontested divorce, no minor children, 18.5. That's tier 1. And you're going to enter your credit card information. And once you enter your credit card information and that's approved, up here where it says fields completed, that's when you're going to access the full intake form. The cool thing is you're going to get through your intake form quicker because you don't have to deal with children, multiple properties beyond the marital home, or business interests or retirement accounts. That's tier 1. Let's go back. Let's say you do have children, but you only have the one marital home, no business interests or retirement accounts. Next, that's going to be 28.5. Okay. Same thing. Enter your credit card information. Expect to spend more time completing the form than a tier 1 couple because you have children, and you're going to get an allocation judgment incorporating a parenting plan. And so this intake form is going to capture everything that I need to draft all of your divorce documents, including the allocation judgment incorporating parenting plan for you. I want to say something. We noticed that the fee here is $28,500 and the fee for tier 1 was $18,500. With my firm, if you hire me as your attorney for an uncontested divorce and it's not through the Navigator, no children, $28,500 plus court fees. With the Navigator, $18,500 plus court fees, significant savings. If you hire me as your attorney, fixed fee with children, you're going to pay $28,500. I'm sorry, you're going to pay $3,500 plus court fees. It's $28,500 with the Navigator, right? $28,500 with the Navigator. Significant savings. Please excuse me. Let's go back here. Let's say children, no, but we do have multiple properties. Now, yes or yes here will trigger tier 3. So it could be yes, no, or yes, yes. It doesn't matter. It's going to trigger 3. This is complex divorce. The fee is $48,500 through the Navigator. Folks that come to my firm where I have to deal with an uncontested divorce with multiple properties, retirement accounts, business interests, and all of that good stuff, you're looking at $7,500 plus. It just really depends on the complexity of the estate, but most times $7,500. Significant value here, right? The Navigator, you get it for $48,500. And so this is it for the intake form, because at this point you have to enter your credit card information to access the full form. And we go from there. But I wanted to show you how the process works in this video. And now you know. And so before we walk through the tiers, my family court Navigator and all the Navigators are new, right? Like I told you, I launched my family court Navigator 3 weeks ago. Yesterday was week 3. These Navigators are new. My family court Navigator is new. And so I built it from the ground up based on years of watching real Illinois clients struggle to navigate the divorce process alone. And so since being in private practice, I get calls constantly from people who just want me to walk them through the process. They want to know what forms to file, what to say to the judge, what happens next. And I have to tell them, okay, my fixed fees start at $2,500. No minors, $3,500. Minors, you got complex properties, $7,500. Get a lot, like I get pushback. I'm going to spare that. I created the Navigator for this population, right? Attorneys, we get paid for our knowledge and experience with both procedural and substantive law. That's what we bring to the table. That's what we bring to every case, right? But the reality is that everyone either can't pay my fee, or some people simply want to keep attorneys out of their situation entirely and handle it themselves. I've heard a number of reasons. I've heard people say, I don't trust lawyers, or, we've gone through a lot. We just need to keep things to ourselves. All we want is a divorce. We're in agreement. We just need the papers. I've heard it all. And so basically that gap between people who need real legal knowledge and people who can afford full representation is exactly that middle market that I built my family court Navigator for. Because the truth is, you deserve access to the same attorney knowledge and procedural guidance that my paying clients receive. And my family court Navigator delivers that at a price point that actually works for the people who need it most. And you're getting value because you're not working directly with me as a client who has retained me to do everything, right? But the documents that are generated, I prepare them. I review them before they are sent to your inbox. The Navigator University videos and illustrative guides were created by me, an attorney that has a lot of experience with divorce in Illinois, personally and professionally. I know divorce in Illinois. I created every resource that's in Navigator University. If you take this package, you will be empowered to navigate your uncontested divorce in Illinois pro se, meaning representing yourself without an attorney. And so I want to get into showing you some reviews. Darlene, she said, Attorney Stitt was very professional and knowledgeable. She answered all of my questions and kept me well informed during the process of getting my divorce. We have Anonymous. I represented this lady in an order of protection case. We had some domestic violence going on. Domestic violence is always difficult, but we got a good result. Now, because it's domestic violence, she wanted to remain anonymous. I really appreciate her review because my order of protection clients do not write reviews. Even though I get results for them, they're like, I can't have my name showing up on Google, no review, but you did good. You got me the result I wanted. Thank you. She actually wrote, I didn't know you could do anonymous. She actually wrote a review on Google, and I think Avo, I'm not sure, but definitely on Google. She kept it anonymous and said, Attorney Stitt made sure I felt prepared and positive on court day. She explained everything clearly and delivered the exact outcome I hoped for, fair, thorough, and supportive. Thank you. Kelly, divorce client. Attorney Stitt is very professional and provided me very helpful legal advice. She took personal time to assist me with a complex case. I highly recommend her as a family law attorney. And so I just wanted to read these two because they speak to how I work, my thoroughness, my responsiveness, my commitment to making sure that every client walks away knowing exactly what happened and why. And I have a lot of clients when they come in to me, they tell me, oh my God, I feel like you listen. Thank you for listening. And I was in the beginning of my beginning days of private practice, I didn't understand that. I'm like, are attorneys not listening to people? And I realized that being a social worker for almost a decade, bringing that experience into my practice of law really shapes how I practice law. Because as a social worker, I was trained to listen, right? And so in my practice of law, I listen. I listen to the client. I want to understand your history, your background. I want to understand your objectives. And I'm going to break it down in plain language in a way where we're stripping away all of that legal stuff that I know in my head and presenting it to you in a way where you can understand. I took all of that and put it into the navigators that I created. This My Family Court Navigator does all of that for you at a fraction of the cost of retaining an attorney to do everything. And so let's go through the 3 steps. And so it's very simple. You complete the intake form. We already kind of went through the intake form. You complete this intake form. No appointment needed. No consultation needed. No phone call required before you get started. A licensed Illinois attorney, me, reviews your intake and prepares your court-ready documents personally. You receive everything electronically within 24 to 48 business hours, documents and forms ready to file in your divorce case. That's the entire process. No waiting for weeks for a callback, no scheduling a consultation just to find out next steps. You start the form. I review it and your documents come back to you ready to file in court. And also I want to talk to you about something. So my firm, I'm a social worker, right? So I am a licensed attorney, but I bring that social work background. It follows me in my practice of law. And so I believe in access to justice. So in terms of full representation, I exclusively work with folks who need divorce mediation and collaborative divorce. I did all of that litigation stuff. I started my career at Prairie State Legal Services as a legal aid attorney, and in private practice, I did contested work. These reviews, most of these reviews are from contested clients on my website. I don't do that anymore. I am a fan of out-of-court solution. I want to help you get divorced without ever stepping foot in the courtroom. Or if you have to step foot in the courtroom, it's going to be for your final prove-up so the judge can finalize everything and get you divorced so you can move on with your life. But because I am passionate about access to justice, my firm offers limited scope services. I'm going to visit this page real quick. We're not going to stay here because today's video is about my family court navigator for uncontested divorce. But if something is going on with the navigator case, or say you've already started your uncontested case and have the documents so you don't need the full navigator, or say you're contested, your divorce is contested and you're representing yourself because you can't afford an attorney, you can work with me on a limited scope basis. And so for a fixed fee, I can help you with certain things. I really try my best to be transparent. I want to be transparent because what I learned over these years is folks don't trust attorneys, right? And so I want you to know before you reach out, you're going to have the information you need to make a decision. Do I even want to reach out to this firm? Do I want to submit an intake form? Do I want to schedule a call? Do I want to speak with this attorney? I'm trying to be transparent and give you everything you need to kind of take away that hesitancy, that anxiety about working with a lawyer. And so say if you want me to draft a petition for dissolution of marriage, I can do that for $550 per petition, per document. Say you are in a contested case and you need a proposed order. I can do that for $350 per order. Say you did the petition already in parenting class and everything else that's needed, but you do need a marital settlement agreement because the judge rejected the one that you wrote. I can draft that for you for $950, fixed fee. Limited scope services is an amazing thing. I love limited scope because it empowers people who often feel left out because of budget or whatever. You can access a qualified, experienced attorney to do a discrete, specific task for you at a fixed fee. And so there are no surprises. This is what I pay, and this is what the attorney is going to do for me. And then I continue to represent myself in a divorce case. That is empowering, right? And so let's get back to the My Family Court Navigator. So let's scroll down to Tier 1. And so, again, we have 3 tiers. Tier 1 is uncontested divorce, no minor children. You can read through this and see what comes with it. But basically, the takeaway for you is those documents, every document that you need to get divorced in Illinois prepared by me, a licensed Illinois attorney, sent to you so that you can file them with the court. Oh, another limited scope service we offer is e-filing. So if you don't want to e-file your documents, we can do that for you for a fixed fee. And if I'm not mistaken, it's $75 per document, but you're going to have to go back to that webpage to check that out. Hopefully I spoke the correct price. And you also get Navigator University with all these tiers, again, prepared by me personally, an experienced divorce attorney who knows divorce in Illinois personally and professionally. And everything, I built this from the ground up, and it's giving you real value to empower you to navigate your uncontested divorce pro se, representing yourself. You got minor children, 28.5, same thing. Now this complex option, this is a little different because we're dealing with retirement accounts, business interests, multiple properties. We also have to schedule consultation, but it's included in the price. So Tier 1 and Tier 2, you only have to submit this intake form, right? With Tier 3, you submit this intake form, but you're going to get a private link to schedule a call with me or an attorney with my firm, and we have to cover some specific things because business interests, retirement accounts, multiple properties, that can get complex, and we have to make sure that everything is right. And so that's the only difference. That call does not come with Tier 1 or Tier 2, but if you need a call, you can schedule a limited scope strategy session with me for a fixed fee. And if I'm not mistaken, that fixed fee is $500, but it's also on that limited scope page. So we have covered all the tiers. Not sure what tier is right for you after this video? Click here. You don't have to enter an email address or any type of personal information. You just click and you get this nice handy dandy PDF. It's going to walk you through My Family Court Navigator tiers, all your options to empower you to then come back here, click this, and go to the intake form and get started, right? And so, and that's completely complimentary. So one more thing before I let you go. I am starting a virtual legal clinic that I'll be hosting every 2 weeks. And I'm starting by opening 15 spots for free 15-minute legal consultations with me directly. Not AI, not a paralegal, me. A licensed Illinois attorney looking at your specific situation and telling you exactly where you stand and what your next step should be. And so this kind of access typically costs hundreds of dollars, but I'm starting this clinic because of the amount of calls that I get to the firm for people who they can't afford my fee for full representation, but they just need access to justice, right? And so I anticipate that these 15 slots are going to fill up fast based on the calls that are coming into my firm. The registration link is in the description. And so let's close it out. My Family Court Navigator was built so that no Illinois resident has to walk into divorce court completely unprepared and completely alone. This tool empowers you to represent yourself in the uncontested divorce process from start to finish, finish being prove up. We're going to help you to walk into that prove up confident and empowered to finalize this thing so you can move on with your life. The link is in the description. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss an episode. And if your situation needs more than the Navigator can provide, we already talked about this. My firm offers full scope and limited scope legal services. Remember, you do not have to navigate the Illinois uncontested divorce system alone. We got you. Wishing you the absolute best moving forward.